Imagine this. You finally buy the home of your dreams. You unlock the front door expecting peace, comfort, and quiet nights. But instead, you're met with whispers, suspicious stares, complaint letters, and even the police at your doorstep. What the neighbors didn't know, the woman they were targeting was the one in charge of the entire sheriff's department. On a bright Saturday morning in Oak Ridge Heights, Florida, Madeline Ross, a 45-year-old woman, pulled her moving truck into the driveway of her new brick two-story home. She had spent over 20 years serving her county. She wasn't just respected, she was elected sheriff, admired by colleagues and feared by criminals. But here, in this quiet suburban cul-de-sac, none of that mattered. Madeline wore jeans and a t-shirt, her hair tied back, sleeves rolled up. As she carried boxes inside, she felt eyes on her. Curtains twitched. A man watering his lawn paused, staring a little too long. A woman on the porch next door whispered into her phone, never breaking her gaze. Madeline muttered to herself, "Introductions can wait." She had seen that look before, in restaurants, on calls in certain neighborhoods. But she told herself this was different. This was supposed to be home. By noon, Madeline had finished unloading. Sweaty but satisfied, she sat on the tailgate of her truck sipping water. That's when an older man with a dog approached. "You moving in here?" he asked flatly. "Yes, sir," Madeline smiled. "Name's Madeline Ross, just got the keys." The man gave a curt nod. "Welcome." He tugged the leash and walked away. Later, a white SUV rolled up. Out stepped Gregory Hale, the neighborhood HOA president. Mid-50s, silver hair, polo shirt tucked neatly into khakis. His handshake was firm, but his eyes cold. "We like order around here," Gregory said, scanning her lawn. "Trash bins only out after 6 p.m., lawns cut weekly. No exceptions." Madeline caught the subtext. It wasn't a welcome. It was a warning. That evening, as she unpacked, she peeked through her curtains. Across the street, the same woman from earlier still stood on her porch, still watching. "Some folks don't need a reason," Madeline whispered. "They'll find one anyway." The days that followed only confirmed her fears. When she left for work before sunrise, she saw silhouettes watching from windows. When she returned late, garage lights flicked on as if tracking her. Neighbors whispered just loud enough for her to hear. "She's always leaving at weird hours." What does she even do? Nobody brought a welcome card. Nobody stopped by with cookies. Instead, she received side eyes, cut-off conversations, and the constant weight of suspicion. Then came the first notice, taped to her door. "Violation. Trash receptacle visible outside collection hours." Her bin had been out less than an hour. Next came another. "Violation. Car tires touching grass edge." This story carries within it a timeless message, one that every generation can learn from. At first glance, it may look like a simple tale about a poor farmer and the villagers who mocked him. But when we look deeper, it reveals profound lessons about human nature, humility, patience, and the dangers of judging others without truly knowing them. The villagers believed they understood the farmer. They looked at his torn clothes, his small piece of land, and his quiet nature, and they thought they had the full picture. To them, he was weak, unlucky, and even foolish. But in truth, what they saw was only the surface. They could not see his inner strength, his deep wisdom, or his unshakable patience. This teaches us a powerful truth. Appearances are often misleading. What you see is not always what you get. A person who looks poor may actually be rich in character. Someone who appears weak may be carrying a strength greater than all those who mock him. Think about how often in our daily lives we judge others quickly. We see a person walking in old clothes and we assume they have no success. We hear someone speak less and we think they have nothing important to say. We notice someone struggling and we believe they are failures. But the truth is, every person is fighting battles we cannot see. Every heart holds experiences, pain, and wisdom that are invisible to the outside world. This story reminds us to be careful. When we judge someone by their outer condition, we may be making the greatest mistake of our lives. Another important lesson is about patience and silence. The farmer did not waste his time trying to prove himself to the villagers. He did not fight with them, nor did he throw back their insults. Instead, he stayed quiet. He focused on his work. He lived with patience. And in the end, it was his silence that became his strength. This shows us something truly important. You do not always need to answer your critics. You do not always need to argue with people who insult you. Sometimes the most powerful reply is silence. When you are patient and focused, the truth eventually comes out. Actions speak louder than words, and time has a way of revealing everything. This lesson is especially relevant in today's world, where people rush to defend themselves on social media, in workplaces, and even within families. We feel the need to constantly prove ourselves, to show that we are right and others are wrong. But the farmer's example teaches us that true wisdom is in restraint. Sometimes staying quiet is not weakness, it is a form of strength.